Today we're going to be tying a very simple CDC elk hair Caddis fly. The CDC gives this fly some really good buoyancy in turbulent water. The hook we'll be using today is a Mustad size 14 standard dry fly hook. We'll be using brown UTC Ultra Thread in size 70, a single brown CDC feather, and you want the fibers to be 1.5 to 2 times the length of the hook. I'm going to be using a very small amount of brown dubbing. And we're going to create the wing with some elk hair. And we'll go ahead and prep my elk hair and align the tips with a stacker. And I'm going to prep the CDC feather by pinching the very tip and then working the fibers back away from the tip to give me a tie-in point. Start the thread directly behind the eye and create a base of thread wraps all the way down the shank of the hook. And you want to stop your thread right at the bend of the hook, which is just in front of where the barb would be. And we'll go ahead and tie in my CDC feather. And we'll take a very small amount of the brown dubbing and create a very thin dubbing noodle. I'm just going to lightly dub the body. And bring my thread up about one eye length behind the eye of the hook. And I'm going to capture my CDC feather in a set of hackle pliers. And I'm going to palmer or pull the fibers back. And start wrapping it forward. The quill of the CDC feather is very strong and creates a ribbing effect. Up the body. And we'll bring this forward and to the point of where we stopped the thread. And then go ahead and capture it with the thread. Take my scissors and trim out the excess. Now, at this point I'm going to save myself a headache and just put a couple whip finishes where my thread is. Just cleaning up some of these trap fibers. And the reason I put a couple wood finishes at this point is with size 70 thread and tying in hair. If I break my thread, I don't lose everything I've done up until this point. Now the wing be about a body length or the length of the shank of the hook, and I'm going to take my thread and twist it up on itself to create a very tight cordage. Take a couple loose wraps and then start applying pressure. Take your time with the hair to make sure it stays on top. Lift it up and go underneath of it. Look at both sides. And then at this point we can go ahead and whip finish. I'm going to try to whip finish underneath the, right behind the eye of the hook. And break or cut your thread at this point. And take your scissors and pull up on this front group and cut it at about a 45-degree angle. And go ahead and place a drop of head cement on the underside to help lock in the hair and secure the string or the thread. And if you want to, you can trim these lower CDC fibers back. And there is a basic CDC and elk hair caddis fly pattern.